In a world filled with complex relationships, none can be more challenging, or as secretly thrilling, as the dynamic between empaths and narcissists. Have you ever wondered why empaths seem to be drawn to narcissists, and why, despite all the difficulties, they stick around? Or maybe you're curious about how some people manage to keep narcissists at bay, maintaining their boundaries while others get swept into a whirlwind of manipulation and emotional exhaustion. There's a subtle but powerful approach that empaths can use to disarm even the most skilled narcissist. This secret technique doesn't just work, it transforms the way empaths navigate their most draining relationships. And here's the kicker. This powerful approach doesn't involve confrontation or ultimatums. It's a quiet, compassionate, and empowering technique that any empath can learn. By the end of this discussion, you'll have a firm grasp of how to stand strong without falling prey to a narcissist's tricks. Before we dive into the heart of this powerful method, let's set the stage for what makes empaths and narcissists so magnetically attracted to each other in the first place. Empaths are individuals with a deep sensitivity to other people's emotions. They pick up on subtle cues and feel deeply affected by the moods and needs of others. Narcissists, on the other hand, crave attention, validation, and admiration. They rely on a steady supply of affection, which they often extract from empathetic, giving people. This means that empaths are sometimes drawn into the narcissist's orbit, hoping to help, heal, or understand them. Yet instead of the balanced relationship they hope for, they find themselves drained, manipulated, and at the mercy of the narcissist's demands. Now, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on fascinating psychology insights. You can also like and share this video if you're ready to dive deep into understanding what it takes to maintain peace around a narcissist. Let's explore how empaths can use a transformative secret to navigate these tricky waters. So, what is the secret technique that empaths use to disarm narcissists? It's called detachment with compassion. This approach may sound simple, but in practice, it's one of the most effective ways for empaths to keep themselves from getting entangled in the narcissist's web. Detachment with compassion means that the empath energy and avoid the emotional roller coaster that narcissists often create. In practice, this technique involves maintaining a clear sense of self and boundaries, even as you empathize with the other person. Think of it as giving empathy a protective barrier. You still feel for the narcissist, but without allowing their chaos to pull you in. When an empath practices detachment with compassion, they recognize the narcissist's behavior for what it is, a display of insecurity, fear, or anger, without absorbing it. They can acknowledge the narcissist's pain without feeling a need to fix it. This is the secret. The empath learns to care without carrying the weight of the narcissist's needs. The power of compassionate detachment lies in how it diffuses the narcissist's control. Narcissists rely on a push-pull dynamic. They draw people close with charm, and then as soon as they feel in control, they start to manipulate, belittle, or demand. When the empath doesn't respond emotionally to these tactics, when they remain steady and unruffled, the narcissist loses that control. It's as if the narcissist is trying to play a game of tug-of-war, but the empath has simply let go of the rope. Without emotional fuel, the narcissist's hold over the empath weakens, and they can no longer exploit their vulnerability. So how can empaths put this technique into action? Here are a few key strategies. 1. Observing rather than absorbing. This means empaths learn to witness the narcissist's behavior without letting it seep into their own emotional world. By maintaining an internal sense of peace, they allow the narcissist's actions to stay on the surface rather than penetrate deeply. If a narcissist tries to provoke an emotional reaction, the empath can observe it without getting hooked. This often has a surprising effect on the narcissist. They become less controlling because they can no longer elicit the desired reaction. 2. Setting gentle boundaries. Narcissists often push boundaries, but the secret is for empaths to set firm yet compassionate boundaries. They can do this by communicating clearly and calmly, without feeling pressured to justify or apologize. For example, an empath might say, "I can see this is important to you, but I'm not available for that right now." This approach acknowledges the narcissist's need, but holds a limit, showing them that the empath respects their own time and energy. 3. Reflective listening without validation. Narcissists seek validation constantly. They want to feel superior, needed, or admired. Empaths, however, can choose to listen without providing the type of validation the narcissist craves. By saying things like, "That must be challenging for you," without offering praise or admiration, empaths can communicate understanding without feeding the narcissist's ego. 4. Embracing self-care routines. Empaths often neglect their own well-being, especially when they are focused on someone else's needs. But when they commit to regular self-care routines, they build resilience and emotional strength, making it harder for the narcissist to drain them. Self-care could mean meditation, journaling, physical exercise, or any activity that reconnects the empath with themselves. 5. Remaining non-reactive. Narcissists feed off reactions. If they provoke anger, sadness, or fear, they feel in control. Empaths can practice responding calmly and even neutrally, no matter how intense the narcissist's behavior becomes. This does not mean ignoring or being passive. Rather, it's about responding thoughtfully, with a calm demeanor, instead of reacting emotionally. 6. Releasing the need to fix. Empaths often feel a deep-rooted need to fix others' problems, which is exactly what makes them vulnerable to narcissists. But by releasing the need to fix the narcissist, they can conserve their emotional energy and maintain a healthy detachment. This step involves a shift in mindset. The empath sees that they can show compassion without being responsible for someone else's happiness or well-being. When empaths use these compassionate detachment strategies consistently, narcissists gradually lose interest in manipulating them. Without the emotional responses they crave, narcissists may find themselves frustrated or even bored. Some may try to increase their tactics momentarily, but ultimately, they start seeking more responsive supplies elsewhere. The empath, meanwhile, becomes freer, emotionally lighter, and able to focus on relationships that truly nourish them. At this point, you may be wondering, can a narcissist truly change? The answer is complicated. Change is possible, but it requires deep self-reflection and commitment, which most narcissists are unwilling to undertake. For empaths, trying to save a narcissist can be like pouring water into a bottomless pit. The key, therefore, is for empaths to protect their energy by practicing compassionate detachment and focusing on their own well-being. Before we close, remember that these techniques aren't just for empaths dealing with narcissists. They can benefit anyone navigating complex, draining relationships. Compassionate detachment gives you the strength to stand firm, protect your energy, and keep peace within yourself, regardless of the storm around you. By learning to care without carrying the burdens of others, you're empowering yourself and reclaiming your emotional freedom. Thank you for joining this deep dive into the empath-narcissist dynamic. If you found this discussion valuable, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more empowering insights to you each week. Until next time, remember, you can show compassion without compromising your peace. Keep shining your light, and take care. In a world filled with complex relationships, none can be more challenging, or as secretly thrilling, as the dynamic between empaths and narcissists. Have you ever wondered why empaths seem to be drawn to narcissists, and why, despite all the difficulties, they stick around? Or maybe you're curious about how some people manage to keep narcissists